Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for Weekly Weird News. Sit down, relax.
This just in, zombies are real and they're coming to kill you.
Oh, I was joking about the relaxing part, I guess.
They're not really doing that, of course, but there's a decent chance you're one of those people that actually has a serious plan for this possibility and unironically discusses it with friends of yours who also have way too much time on their hands.
They also get very upset when you say it's a dumb thing to be doing.
It is, though.
I'm prepared. Wait till the zombies come.
I mean, we're judging you, but we're not gonna judge. I hope you've at least also prepared yourself for what you do in an earthquake or a tornado or a hurricane or whatever shitty thing happens to the part of the world you live in. The truth of the matter is that in the event of a zombie apocalypse or any much more real actual disaster, what you do yourself actually is only effective up to a certain point. There's a lot of other variables at play that decide your chances of survival. And it turns out that in the totally not real event of a zombie outbreak, a lot of it comes down to simply where you live.
Yeah, so this of course makes sense. If you look at a zombie outbreak as what it really is, a highly contagious and fatal disease that leads to and is spread by widespread violence, different places on the map are going to be better suited for dealing with that kind of thing. That's the premise of the latest in a never-ending line of well-researched articles about a hypothetical zombie apocalypse anyway, which looked at the 53 largest metropolitan areas in the United States and ranked them according to their ability to defend against the virus, ability to contain the virus, and their ability to find a cure, and then their ability to actually outlast the epidemic with an ample food supply. All very important factors. Thanks, CareerBuilder.com. Yeah, you heard that correct. This zombie survival index comes courtesy of a website people use to find jobs and employees. But then again, most memes on Facebook come from MajorStarTalent.com or whatever the fuck it is. They're all just trying to share stuff to give.
The internet's a lie.
Yeah.
Anyway, these career builder people, they really hit the jackpot creating a job search website that affords them so much free time that they can just publish blog posts that are completely irrelevant to the purpose of their own job. Bravo.
Makes them look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you win.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not totally irrelevant. The data that they reference for the list all has to do with the economies, industries, and job markets of different parts of the country, so it's the same data that they use to help people find jobs.
Yeah.
Now they're using that data to figure out how fucked you'd be if people started coming back from the dead and eating each other.
Yeah.
Anyways, according to CareerBuilder.com...
Don't get a career, it's pointless. You're all gonna get eaten.
According to their presumably very scientific analysis, the best place to be in a zombie outbreak is Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, but who wants to live there?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
Beantown.
Chowder's good. They got the highest score by having decent scores in every category except for finding a cure.
Too busy watching sports.
No, they actually trounced every other city in that category thanks to all their smart people working in the biomedical research and development industries. Wicked smart.
Yeah, they got a lot of good colleges and stuff up there. We're just giving you a hard time. It's a fun place to live unless you have to drive in the downtown
Oh
area.
my God.
It's a nightmare. Anyways, after that, you've got Kansas City coming in at number 2, and I'm just gonna guess it's because that no one wants to live there anyway, so the zombies will just avoid it.
Could be.
That's based on their defense score. It's based on all the people who own guns and how much of the population is active police or military. See? It is good. Tell Shillery to get out of here with her gun-stealing plan. She's
Stop stealing our guns. The zombies are coming for us.
Number 3 is Salt Lake City, thanks to its containment score, because SLC is really spread out, but still full of people with engineering and construction skills. Plus, they can fuck like rabbits there because they have to.
And you throw the zombies in the lake and they get all salty and
Oh
stiff.
no! Yeah, and then you have zombie jerky. It's delicious. But no, they breed like rabbits there because Joseph Smith says so.
We need to defend our town. Get pregnant.
Yeah. Then there's Baltimore and San Diego at 4 and 5 because both have a shitload of military and biomedical researchers living around those areas. After them, it's Seattle, Denver, Virginia Beach, Hartford, and Minneapolis, and then yada yada. You get the idea. The real fun here is seeing which cities would be totally screwed. So let's flip the list and see about that.
Oh, look, right there at number 53, dead last is New York City, whose containment score is the only one on the list to dip into negative numbers.
Yeah.
Basically, New York City is so damn dense and vertical and hard to get around that you'd probably be infected before you made it to the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Then there's Tampa.
Oh shit!
Which is just overall lacking in every category, followed by...
Not even in just the zombie outbreak category, but literally every category you could judge a city on, it is lacking.
I feel like... Well,
except strip clubs. They let you do anything.
Yeah, zombie strippers. I feel like they didn't factor the gators into this, because, like, the gators, they'd go right after the zombies.
Yeah, we have
unless the gators can turn into zombies,
We have a lot of prehistoric animals there. We have sharks in the water, vicious sharks. We have alligators. The residents there are... You know, when you think about resilience, to certain things. These people have it all.
Very resilient.
Yeah, if you got hepatitis and everything else, what do you care about a zombie outbreak? You're already a zombie anyway. They got zombies in the street eating people's face off already because of that spice.
They do.
Florida's the best place for this to happen.
Yeah.
Because we can just cut it off, just like Bugs Bunny. Show the clip.
There, that does it. South America, take it away.
There we go.
Yeah, I love that clip. Follow after that, though, Los Angeles.
Damn it.
Shit. Yeah, it turns out, like New York, we would do a terrible job at containing an outbreak because we're so dense and big. Plus, there aren't enough cops and military, and there aren't enough biomedical researchers. There's too many actors, and we'd run out of food really fast.
Yeah, because all the food here people eat is all like farm-to-table shit, and they're not going to be bringing that in here after the apocalypse starts breaking out.
So, I mean, that sucks, but this is not real either, so oh well.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Then there's our neighbor, Riverside, which is a terrible, boring place. They have apparently 0 chance of developing a cure, which I guess means they don't have any biomedical research at all. They scored a fucking 0. So I think they just called Riverside stupid. Sorry.
All the applications coming into careerbuilder.com from Riverside. You guys are fucking morons.
Oh, these people, they're never going to make it. Yeah. After that, there's Miami, also Florida. Then Atlanta, home of The Walking Dead.
LA did Fear the Walking Dead, too. So.
And there's Buffalo. And,
uh-oh, Keemstar, watch out.
And Tucson.
Who cares?
I feel like the zombies would just dry up. It's so dry. And then there's Chicago and Detroit, which are arguably already zombie towns.
Yeah.
If you read scary media.
Well, Chicago has some life breathed back into it with the Cubs.
No, it's a war zone in the South. You can't walk down the street without getting eaten.
I'd hate to be a zombie in South Chicago.
Yeah, they would contain it.
Yeah. So this is, of course, very troubling. Just kidding. It isn't, because zombies aren't real. But now you can make your zombie survival strategy that you daydream about a little bit more realistic. It's more fun than looking for a new job. Thanks, careerbuilder.com. I swear they didn't sponsor this episode, but they should have. Anyway, luckily there's people out there trying to figure out ways to deal with real-life disease epidemics, because zombies aren't real, but mosquitoes definitely are. I would say that this zombie survival guide shit is actually somewhat good for these cities, because, I mean, one of my favorite shows of all time, I don't know if they're still playing.
Doomsday Preppers?
Doomsday Preppers.
Well, you gotta have a plan
There's some people with good ideas out there. I mean, when it comes down to it, LA, you need a plan for having an earthquake.
I do not have an earthquake kit. It's bad. It's real bad.
You should probably get one. It's gonna be here any day now.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, so yeah, it's good to prepare for some things, even if they're fantasy. You'll find something useful. But back to the mosquitoes, they're an actual threat, and they love nothing more than spreading diseases like malaria, dengue, West Nile virus, yellow fever, the Zika virus, and more. It's pretty much the only thing they're good at. I had to get 2 shots today because I'm going to Asia.
Yeah, and it's full of fucking mosquitoes over there. Bad ones.
But I'm fine.
Yeah.
Thanks,
for
Obama.
now. So how do you fight an enemy so small and resilient like the mosquito? Well, for starters, you can do what Brazil's government did before both the World Cup and the Olympics and just literally send the army door to door with fly swatters and bug spray. It helps. But it turns out there's an even better solution. As the old saying goes, the only way to stop a bad mosquito with a disease is a good mosquito with a disease. And because there's no such thing as a good mosquito, we created one.
Good.
Not us, the scientists, obviously, but it's fun and easy to take credit for humanity's achievements just by virtue of our own species.
Not Riverside County, though.
Yeah.
Get out.
Remember when we went to the moon? No, not you, Riverside. Sit down.
Yeah.
You don't have biomedical researchers.
Put your hand down, dummy. For the last few years, British biotech company Oxitec has been developing and successfully testing a solution in which they mess with DNA of the Aegypti. We're not scientists.
Yeah.
We came from Riverside. With that species of mosquito, whose common name is literally the yellow fever mosquito, to create genetically modified males born with a heavy dependence on a specific antibiotic to survive long term. They breed a shit ton of these things and then just release them in areas full of disease-carrying mosquitoes, probably where a bunch of standing water and old tires are, where they fly off to go mate and impregnate females, then die shortly thereafter. Female mosquitoes only usually mate once, though that one time allows her to become pregnant several times throughout her life. Damn, that mosquito sperm is strong. Except now all the eggs she lays spawn mosquitoes that have the same disease their dad had, and they die off before they have a chance to mate. Isn't nature beautiful when humans start tampering with it?
Yeah. The Oxitec has already conducted smaller scale tests in Panama and the Cayman Islands, and even some smaller towns in Brazil, where they saw a 90% reduction in mosquito-borne illness. The biggest obstacle so far has been scale, with their funding only allowing for the creation of enough mosquitoes for areas with populations of around 10,000 people. But thanks to an endorsement earlier this year from the World Health Organization...
Who?
They're now ready to tackle larger areas with a factory in Sao Paulo that can produce up to 60 million mosquitoes a week.
Wow.
And they have plans to unleash them and eradicate all of Sao Paulo's mosquitoes sometime in 2017 once all the proper Brazilian government health authority paperwork has been worked out.
I know I'm being an alarmist, but there's no way this could go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least it's better than doing the mist. They killed all the bees in North America with that
it's
mist.
bad.
It's real bad. Excuse me, ma'am.
We need the bees.
We
Mosquitoes
definitely
are
need the
fucking
bees.
useless, but we need bees.
Yeah. Now, as cool as this is, you're probably thinking, isn't this essentially animal genocide? Because you're a fucking college student and that's all you care about. Yeah, Buddha, it totally is. But the scientific consensus is that the Aegypti, or whatever the hell you pronounce it, mosquito contributes essentially nothing to its ecosystems other than spreading disease and providing very light snacks for birds. They won't be missed. It's fine. In fact, their natural ecosystem is in Africa, and they've only been allowed to spread throughout the world thanks to human travel. So it's your fault. You and your trips all over the world.
Yeah, you're bringing the mosquitoes home.
Now, you might also have some red flags about this based on humans' various other attempts at dealing with problem species in places like Australia, where they'd import other species to deal with the one that they had a problem with, and then just create a bigger problem. But the beauty here is that we're using mosquitoes against themselves, and they get the fuck. You could also be thinking that the existence of genetically modified insects opens up a Pandora's box for other similar applications with a more sinister intention, and to that we have literally nothing to say to make you feel better, because that could happen.
Yeah.
But for now it's mosquitoes, right?
Yeah.
And that's cool.
And actually, though, thinking about your impending death via some Bond villain modified Ebola mosquito could just be the edge that you need to succeed. Because according to a new study published in the Journal of Sport and Exercise Psychology, a real journal, fear of death leads to enhanced performance. And not just on the battlefield, also on the basketball court.
Yeah.
And no, they didn't hold basketball players at gunpoint and force them to make three-pointers under fear of execution, though I'm sure that sort of experiment is pretty commonplace among North Korean Olympic teams.
Great in the movie Escape from LA. Snake
Yeah.
Plissken had to make that shot or he would have his head cut off.
Yeah.
It's a great experiment.
made it.
Scientific.
So no, that's not what they did. The way it worked was they recruited participants and had them play a one-on-one game of basketball against one of the researchers, who the participants were led to believe was just another one of them, another participant. Half the study's participants then filled out a questionnaire about how they felt about basketball, and the other half were given a questionnaire filled with questions about their thoughts on their own inevitable death.
I thought this was going a different way, like they were wearing those things that blow their head off if they don't. That would be way better.
It seems a bit unethical.
It's do it in Puerto Rico. Here's $50. After that, participants played another one-on-one game against the same opponent, and the researchers saw a 40% boost in the basketball performance of those who had answered questions about death, and no noticeable difference among those who answered basketball questions. Then in a second experiment, participants were given a basketball shooting challenge beginning with a 30-second tutorial by one of the researchers. In half the tutorials, the researcher wore a plain jacket, and in the other half, he wore a black t-shirt with the image of a skull made out entirely of the word death, repeated over and over and over in the skull. Guess what? The death shirt guys took more shots and outperformed the other group by 30%.
So
if I don't score, this guy's gonna take me to Hot Topic and maybe go on a shopping spree.
let me just score so this fucking goth kid stops talking to me.
Boo! He's smoking cigarettes. It's bumming me out.
So yeah, death really is the best motivator. At least that's the takeaway from this study, which is titled "He Dies, He Scores: Evidence that Reminders of Death Motivate Improved Performance in Basketball." Good to know, I guess. So what is anyone supposed to do with this information? According to this,
another useless study, just like that fucking zombie thing.
Yeah. According to the study, some coaches already technically put this kind of psychology to use with halftime pep talks, where they tell players stuff like, "If you win this, they'll remember you forever," and stuff like that makes players think about their legacy.
Thank God for that rain delay during the Cubs game.
You could argue that the Cubs were like, if we fucking win this, we're going to be heroes of Chicago forever.
And if we lose,
yeah,
you mean just like that guy that put his hand in front of that
Bartman. Yeah. So, sure, okay, but I don't know if taking all of this a step further and making every pep talk about death is really good for athletes' overall mental health in the long run, even if it does get results on the court. mean,
It works.
whatever. That kind of thinking does not seem to have crossed the researchers' minds at all, though, with one of them saying, quote, "This is a potentially untapped way to motivate athletes, but also perhaps to motivate people in other realms.
Yeah.
Outside of sports, we think that this has implications for a range of different performance-related tasks, like people's jobs." So we're excited about the future of this research.
I'll fucking tell you right now, because I just talked about getting the shots today. When I was in the doctor's office, it was the first time I'd seen them, so they were taking blood work, they were doing everything.
It's terrifying.
I'm sitting there going, oh, wow, I'm gonna die one day.
Yeah.
And who knows, I might find out that happens sooner or later.
Yeah.
And it
They're
really
gonna let
does
me
put
know.
a pep in your step once you get out of there.
Time to go write a script.
Yeah, Anyways, interesting study. But prepare to have its findings completely debunked. Fear of death does not make you good at sports, as evidenced by 2 Australian blokes who recently revealed they'd conned their way into a North Korean international golf tournament despite not being very good at golf. And guess what? They still played terrible, landing 1 spot above dead last. So they were better than someone. Was it Kim Jong-un?
No, it was like a child, I think.
Oh.
No.
Luckily for them, their grade A bullshitting skills and piss-poor performance as the tournament's official team, Australia, did not get them sent to a forced labor camp, but it did prompt one of their caddies to tell them they were bringing great shame upon their families.
The two 28-year-olds, Morgan Ruig and Evan Shea of Brisbane, they had been in Beijing participating in a polo tournament, sort of like horse golf.
Yeah.
And they decided to detour the rest of their China trip when they jokingly submitted themselves to the North Korean golf tournament via email, presenting themselves as the Australian golf team, and were approved. So off to Pyongyang they went, receiving extra special treatment during their 5-day stay, during which they played some absolutely terrible golf, only beating one team, which the two say was the team of the Nepalese ambassador's 15-year-old daughter. The golf course they played on, by the way, is the same one that glorious eternal leader Kim Jong-il shot the greatest golf game ever at. He did 38 under par with 11 holes in one, and it was the first time he'd ever played golf.
He also invented the hamburger.
Yeah.
Yep.
He will be missed.
Yeah. The best golfer of all time. He also won the World Series. It's not clear if either of these guys realize that anything that can be remotely interpreted as an insult to North Korea can be grounds for punishment. Last January, a 21-year-old American on a trip in North Korea was sentenced to 15 years of hard labor for stealing a pamphlet off a wall. So misleadingly presenting yourselves as competitive golfers to gain access to North Korea seems like it could have been taken a wrong way, possibly. But luckily, these guys were able to get their passports back and leave the country without incident. North Korea was even too embarrassed to keep them. So after all of this news coverage, I don't think they'll be let back in anytime soon. No. But they are. They do say that they're planning their next trip, an international golf open in Somalia. So it's nothing stopping them.
Yeah, it's like
there's gonna be a movie made about them.
Grief tourism, where you just play golf tournaments in the shittiest countries.
If it wasn't for the fact that they just did the movie about North Korea, I would say that this would be a great movie. Maybe the Somalia one. Yeah. It's like the opposite of like Cool Runnings.
Who should play these guys? One of the Hemsworths, obviously.
No, and then the guy with the cool glasses. Best party ever so far. That's
yeah,
all I've been saying.
Best golfer ever so far.
Hey, man. Real good at golf. Come check it out in your country. Got a beautiful country here.
They have like...
Be a shame if someone screwed up your golf score.
No, I'm not going to take them off.
The Jews are
Take the glasses off in front of the Kim Jong-il statue.
Nah. Everyone thinks they're the coolest. The Jews are responsible for all major wars.
Oh, no.
He got real upset this week.
Mel Gibson?
You have one meltdown after a couple double tequilas.
It was 10 years ago, geez.
His new movie is apparently fantastic.
Yeah,
so
I hear good things.
We like to make fun of him. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Yeah, anyway, that's enough fully written news stories.
Yeah.
Let's just look at some of the best and weirdest headlines that we saw this past week, starting with man searching for toilet stumbles across 49,000-year-old evidence of earliest human settlement in Australia.
More Australia stories.
It was not a golf course. It was like an aboriginal cave or some shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy looking for a place to take a wee. He discovered an archaeological find that would make Indiana Jones blush.
Yeah, well that's good. In a more lame version of that, in Los Angeles, they were trying to rebuild an outdoor venue, and found some old aqueducts. Remember?
What?
The historic park. They found aqueducts from like the 1700s.
Is that why?
That's why it's
taking so goddamn long.
Yeah, because it became an actual historical site. They're bringing colleges. And
all right. Yeah, they were supposed to be done with that. This is all local talk.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Woman gets 20 boyfriends to buy her iPhones, then sells them to buy a house.
It's genius.
Yeah, this didn't happen in Australia. It's just a fun accident.
It happened in China.
Yeah.
Where
China.
Apparently 20 iPhones equals enough to buy a house.
Depends on where you live, I guess.
But yeah, this is some honeypot shit.
Yeah, so all of her boyfriends, she has 20 boyfriends, bought her one each, or did one buy multiple?
Well, no, they each bought her an iPhone.
So she had 20.
She had 20 side guys, and in China, it's like, that's about the ratio.
Yeah.
It's real easy. She's like, oh, baby, I'd love it if you got me an iPhone. He's like, I'll get you an iPhone.
I am a businessman.
And then they all did that, and she was like, cool, and then just took it to like some trade-in place.
Is it like, so women in China are like, the offspring is so sought after that it's almost like a firing squad? So like they get like 20 boyfriends, so you don't know which sperm
like
is the one that got you pregnant?
It's all gangbangs. That's how they do it there. It's
and then all the guys are like, it's fine, it's not mine.
Yeah, it's the only way to be fair.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, no one gets to have sex. So it's only gangbangs.
Cool.
Yeah.
Glad we cleared that
Very
up for
progressive.
everyone and made sure that that's the truth.
Yeah,
in the internet.
totally true.
Fart sparks fire during surgery in Japan. Patient seriously burned. This is sad, but anything having to do with farts is always fun.
Person, it sounds like the injuries were pretty bad, but the way it happens, they were doing surgery using a laser on her cervix.
Yeah.
And
some gas was trapped in there.
Yeah, she farted, and the laser ignited it.
Yeah.
And so she burned all over her legs, stomach, and cervix.
Yeah.
So
Lots of college dudes do that for free, though.
Yeah, I didn't know lasers could light farts, but apparently they can, and it's real bad.
Terrifying for anyone that now has to go in for any kind of like bowel surgery or
plug you up next time.
Yeah, put a cork in it.
Yeah, they should have. Why? Come on, you guys should have known.
Well, now this sets the precedent.
Yeah. Now.
Now you need a cork in your ass.
Plug it up.
Yeah, butt plugs are good for two things now.
Yeah.
Literally plugging butts and then for sexual arousal.
And now we know. Here's your $50.
Thanks for the test.
Man chops big toe off with bolt cutters and eats it inside Wilkinson's store.
Did he have cancer in his toe like Bob Marley?
No, it sounds like he was just crazy.
Oh.
Wilkinson's, it seems like it's like Home Depot and like Office Max and IKEA all in like one.
What country is this?
England.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the guy walked in there, went to the lawn section, got some bolt cutters, cut off the toe, picked it up, started munching on it. People were like,
"That's weird.
We should call up some bobbies and get them down here."
Yeah, and they came with their clubs and beat him up. Probably.
It was probably just Sam Pepper. He's very desperate.
Yeah. Well, the guy might have had like diabetes or something.
Yeah. But they have the NHS there. It's not like I could see this happening in America. Like oh, I'm losing my toe anyway because of diabetes. Doctor has to cut it off. It's going to cost
it's going to taste sweet. It's
$50,000.
going to taste real sweet because all
that
got
sugar
foot.
Sweet toe, sugar.
You got that sugar foot. Anyways, it wouldn't be weekly weird news without a Duterte update. Philippine leader Duterte says God told him to stop cursing. Maybe he should take whatever his God is. Maybe he should take their advice.
It's a Christian God. They're all Catholic over there.
Yeah, I know, but he probably worships something else. Some kind of special
It's
Duterte
a very
God.
special Duterte. Well, so he says he was in a plane flying from Japan from the Philippines and gazing out the window, and he heard a voice from the heavens say,
"It's probably the captain speaking."
It's like, "You have to stop cursing." And he's like, "Well, it's obviously God talking."
Holy
to me.
shit!
So I promise. Yeah. It's like, so I said I would stop cursing, and now I am.
It was the captain of the plane.
Probably.
And he was
Stop cursing in my plane. It's
Jesus
Christ.
Now that captain is now a drug user, and he's gonna be shot.
Chubby dads, more attractive to women and live longer, scientists say.
Ooh, the dad bod?
Yeah, dad bod wins again.
Finally.
But yeah, for some reason, fatter, older dudes get way less like prostate cancer, and they have fewer heart attacks.
Because they're always passing big bowel movements through keeping it active.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fewer heart attacks?
Well, they're not obese. They're just chubbier.
Yeah.
Like
we're doing fine.
A nice healthy layer.
Is there girls that are chubby chasers?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they're just looking for someone that, looks like the dad they haven't seen in 20 years. He was a fat piece of shit.
When you take your shirt off, it's like you're wearing a sweater already.
Yeah.
Comfy. Well, I feel great then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great news.
Good.
Uh-oh. Duterte swears again. Breaks vow.
Damn it! Damn it!
He lasted about 3 or 4 days.
Well, we should get him a swear jar to like rebuild the country with.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just back to calling people sons of bitches. It's his favorite thing. He was like, if you take drugs, you son of a bitch, you will die. I will kill you. And then he called America son of a bitch for apparently all of his tough talk. We're just like, hey, we were selling your military weapons. We're just not going to do that as much anymore. And he's like, you sons of bitches, you sell me the rifles, please.
Yeah.
He didn't say
I
please.
like that kind of like free like, to change your mind at any point in foreign policy. It's the kind of foreign policy that Donald Trump will most certainly have.
Nah.
Like, he'll be like, what are we doing this for? And then he'll take it away and be like, we fucked up.
Yeah.
You better take it back.
Yeah, take it back.
Yeah.
Just fly by the seat of your pants economics.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's just see if it works. We're
Yeah.
already in so much debt. Why not?
What can you lose? What do you have to
You're a
lose?
person with $100,000 in debt. What do? You call John Taffer to come over there and scream at you and make a bunch of irrational decisions.
And then just ignore all those decisions after John Taffer leaves. They never listen. They never learn.
Anyways.
Bar Rescue, great show.
Good show. World's biggest lion species may have been hunted to extinction by Stone Age humans to make rugs. See?
We've always been garbage.
We're constantly just repeating history, and it's fine.
Yeah. That's a beautiful species of animal.
Yeah.
Be a great rug on my ground. Oh, they're all gone now?
Well, back then you didn't fucking know.
It was an unlimited source of rugs. How did we run out?
Yeah, back then you didn't know.
No, they didn't. But it
completely
is
fine.
funny that we've always just been fucking with nature, even back like 10,000 years ago.
Yeah. Now we're creating mosquitoes in a lab.
Des Moines woman says she voted twice for Trump because the polls are rigged.
That makes sense.
Voter fraud is real, so I committed voter fraud.
Someone else was gonna do it if I wasn't.
Yeah.
Anyways, well,
Also, if the polls are rigged, what does voting? Because she was like, I voted for Trump, and then I was like, this machine's probably going to count it as a vote for Clinton, so I voted again. And it's like that
So then you
logic
voted for
doesn't make
Clinton
sense.
twice.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. If you think the polls are rigged, then voting twice isn't going to help your case.
it's like holding Vine for ransom.
Yeah.
Not gonna work.
Not gonna work.
Man draws penis around pothole to hasten repair work. Gets charged with vandalism. But this did work in the past.
Worked in the UK with Wanksy.
Yeah.
But that guy, he did it under the cover of night. He never
This
was
person's
caught.
just like trying to be a hero in broad
This
daylight.
guy's in Florida, and while he was doing it, a cop car pulled up behind him.
What
Like,
the fuck are you doing?
what are you doing?
to get him to repair things faster.
Yeah.
There's a number you can call usually in your city they'll come do it without the penis on it. Rachel Dolezal's memoir to explore discrimination while living as black.
She's still out there.
It's gonna
still
prove
doing
that 2017's got a lot in store for us too.
The funny thing about this is there was a book written in the 1940s, I believe, called Black Like Me, where a journalist actually did spend a year living undercover as a black man. He took a bunch of hormones and shit to darken his skin and like moved to, I think, Harlem. And he wrote a best-selling book that actually changed a lot of people's opinions on racism. So this is not unprecedented.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
just that she has a terrible like,
his
social-
motivations were a little different than hers.
Yeah. I have no, I don't think she's lying about liking the fact that she lived as a black person. I think
She's
she
still
enjoyed it.
doing
Yeah,
it.
I know. But she just has that stigma on her of like the fact that she like denied it and then it was a weird kind of little moment.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
You do you, Rachel.
Yeah. It's fine. Curling broom controversy leads to sweeping changes. Just a fun head. It was one of those fun ones.
Yeah, apparently there was a lot of controversy in the sweeping world about the fabric on the bottom of their brooms. Now they've standardized the fabric so no one can complain. People are using different fabrics, and they're like, you're supposed to heat the ice, not scratch it. Now it's all standardized. Everyone is a level playing field, level playing ice. Sweeping changes. Gold coin worth 280,000 euros found in child's pirate treasure collection. Oh, you like this coin? Let's just take that away.
I feel like this is like one of those Reader's Digest fake stories.
No, it was, so this guy's great-grandfather had been like in Merchant Marine or some shit and had just like bought it in, like,
I'm a merchant
in like
Marine.
Morocco or something in like the 40s, just like, aye, cool coin. Oh boy it. And then he passed that on to his grandson for
his asshole?
Like, oh, you like pirate treasure? Here you go. This thing's fucking worthless. I bought it in Morocco. And then that guy gave it to his son.
In his asshole?
No,
Oh.
it's not like that. No one was in a Vietnamese POW camp.
Okay.
But so the guy was like, hey, son, this treasure collection's cool. Hey, that one looks like it's actually gold. Let's have a look at this. He took it down to whatever.
They're like, this is fake.
appraiser. Like, I'm trying to run a business. $10.
It's gonna sit on the shelf,
Yeah.
taking up space.
But yeah, they're gonna auction it off. So this kid, he's
Millionaire?
gonna have a couple 100,000 euros.
That's good.
But he's probably gonna be like,
You took away my coin. That was my favorite coin.
Shut up, kid.
Daddy, it's my favorite coin.
I want to buy a lolly. Yeah, I'll trade you a lolly for a fucking coin, kid. Stupid kids. Man in China grabbed by giant panda after climbing inside zoo enclosure to impress women. It's like that guy that got caught between the buildings.
Yeah.
Whoops. Hey, check this out.
This guy in China, he was hanging out with 2 chicks. He was
There's
already
probably that chick that wanted the iPhone. He's like, I'll do you one better.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll get in the panda cage.
Oh, this honey trap lady, she'll get him to do anything.
Yeah.
He's like, what's it gonna take for me to go out?
You
with
think we're fucking cucks over here in America?
They're cucked so hard in
yeah.
China.
These China guys are fucking
He's like,
cucked so
oh yeah.
hard.
He's like, I'm totally gonna impress these chicks. It's gonna be 3-way for sure.
Yeah.
If I climb this fence, go into the panda enclosure, and just fuck around with this panda. And apparently pandas, they're not that dangerous, but they're heavy.
Yeah.
So the panda just sort of like grabbed him and took him down and sat on him.
Yeah.
And they, they have sharp claws and teeth. It was kind of just like.
No. Like
He wasn't hurt, but he was just sort of stuck there, kind of getting raped by a panda on the ground for a couple minutes.
Well, did they have sex after? Not the panda, but the ladies. Were they impressed?
I don't know. I imagine a lot of that.
I think that's Japanese. Anyways.
Venezuelans give up on counting piles of cash and start weighing them because they have hyperinflation, and at that point, it's just like people walking around with wheelbarrows of money, and they're only now starting to think about issuing like 20,000 denomination bills and shit, just like Zimbabwe.
Get rid of the penny, America.
Yeah.
Fucking worthless.
This is Venezuela.
I know, but we got problems here.
And also, there's pennies. There's 50 pennies in the country right now that are worth $1,000 each, thanks to some bank.
Have everyone turn them in.
Yeah.
Use those to fund education.
All right. Final headline.
Yeah.
New York's Museum of Modern Art acquires the original emojis.
Finally. Who's getting the money for that?
I don't know. I don't know if money
company in Japan.
Because it's digital. It's just a big printout of the original shitty emojis that were like 12 pixels.
It's got to be a company in Japan, like what was it, Unicode or something like that?
Unicode is like the organization that does it, but I don't know if it's owned. Might have been like a licensing fee. I don't know. But there's just a bunch of shitty old emojis. It's like, okay.
Oh, I should go take a shit on that golden toilet this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
check out the long
emoji.
line. It's gross. Like you wait in line to take a shit.
It's gold.
I'm not gonna go see a fucking emoji.
Take a bite out of it.
Anyways, that's it for headlines, but one last thing before we go. A lot of you ask us on Twitter for good podcast recommendations, so we're actually very happy to tell you about this week's sponsor. It's a weekly podcast called Secrets, Crimes, and Audio Tape. We think you'll really enjoy listening and subscribing to it because it's actually a scripted drama featuring stories about crime, mystery, conspiracies, and more. It features the voices of actors you might already know and love. The latest episode is a thriller called Severed Threads about faith, greed, and revenge. It's like an old-timey show.
Yeah, I love this kind of shit. You don't see enough of it like anywhere. So yeah, audio dramas, they're great for when you're driving or cooking or drawing or whatever because it's like watching TV. But only requires your ears and your imagination.
What's imagination, Elliot?
It's this thing we used to have.
Oh, okay.
So make sure to go subscribe to Secrets, Crimes, and Audio Tape so you don't miss a single episode. You can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, Wondery.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Or if you like short, convenient web URLs, go to smarturl.it/SCA and subscribe to Secrets, Crimes, and Audio Tape. Show our sponsors some love. They keep our show alive.
Great to have a sponsor that, we have a bunch that we really love, but it's always great to, recommend something that people will fucking enjoy, like some entertainment stuff. So be sure to check that out. Anyways, thanks for watching and check out our recent episodes. One is about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and it's apparently gonna be produced by the guy who directed Deadpool.
Great.
And then you have to watch our video about male birth control and how terrible it is because it's really fucking funny, and for some reason it didn't go in subscription boxes.
Yeah.
So we want more people to see it. Please watch it, and if you like it, please share it with your friends. Also, tell them to subscribe. You can click the button on the screen to subscribe to our channel. You're going to want to subscribe. Your friends are going to want to subscribe. And check out this fan art by Kincaid Bishkoff.
Thank you, Kincaid.
Yeah, cool name. Bye.